Edwards versus Rafael Dos Anjos is now the headliner for UFC San Antonio on July 20th. And I am so thankful. Okay, I don't know if you guys understand the trauma I have been through. Staring at Greg Hardy and Juan Adams as the current heavyweight main event of that card. This is a UFC on ESPN TV card. And I look at Greg Hardy and Juan Adams as the main event, and my heart was just sinking every day. Okay? And now we've got two new additions. We've got RDA versus Leon Edwards, which I'll talk about a prediction real soon. And we got Alexander Hernandez versus Raoni Barcelos. I can't remember who Alexander Hernandez is fighting, but he's fighting someone, and it is a great fight. Yes, Fransico Trinaldo. There you go. The card just got so much better for me, man. I was looking at this card, and I was literally building so much rage. I was literally about to make a video or two hating on the UFC for their events, and they've come through with this main event and an addition with Alexander Hernandez. I like it. I really like it. Leon Edwards versus Rafael Dos Anjos makes my dick twitch, man. It really does. It's a great... Leon Edwards finally gets the fight that he's been waiting for this entire time. He's been calling for it. He's been asking for it, and he gets the fight that he needs. And I've seen a lot of people online saying, RDA, why would he take this fight, man? Why would he take this fight? This does nothing for him. Okay, RDA's in a position right now where nothing does anything for him. He can do anything. Take any fight, and right now, the only fights he can take will do nothing for him. He's not going to get a fight with Woodley, because Woodley's injured. Okay? Colby beat him in Colby's last fight, and Usman beat him 2 fights ago. So, what do you want RDA to do? He has to take on a contender, and the only chance for RDA to get a title shot back is to continue to take on contenders and beat a very handy amount of them, maybe 3 or 4. He's just beat Kevin Lee, who's a smaller guy, and now he's taken on a much bigger guy in Leon Edwards. I can't wait for it, man. I can't wait for it. This is a great one. Leon Edwards getting that shine again. I like it. He's from the UK. He's from Birmingham, so no one likes him. But this is a great fight. And I think Leon Edwards is going to take the win. 5 rounds does scare me. It really does scare me, but I'm actually going to go with Leon Edwards taking a win here. I think a lot of the reason why RDA beat Kevin Lee was because Kevin Lee was his size. I think you put RDA against anyone his size, anywhere, he's most likely going to beat them except for a select few at lightweight. You know what I'm saying? I reckon if RDA could still make lightweight, he'd be top 5. Very easily. You know what I'm saying? But at welterweight, it's just the guys with the physical imposing stature that try and muscle him around and be the dictator in the octagon and bully him around. He just can't handle it. And you saw that at 155 as well against Khabib, who was a lot bigger and just bullied him around the entire time. And Tony Ferguson, who was a lot bigger and rangier and bullied him around the entire time. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be a recurrence with a lot of RDA's losses. Usman, Colby, bigger guys bullying him around. You know what I'm saying? I think Leon Edwards, the style doesn't match up well, but I still think he's going to take this win. And I think what's going to happen is, I think he's going to win the first 3 rounds handily, and I think he's going to face some adversity in the 4th and 5th, and it's going to go to a decision, but Leon Edwards is going to get the win. I really think he is. I think he's going to edge out a win 3 rounds to 2. I just think his striking and his movement's going to be a bit too much in the first 3 rounds. And we've seen against Cowboy, he can go 5 rounds reasonably at a good pace. You know what I'm saying? But in the 4th and the 5th round, you started to see him be a bit more picky with his shots, because he's such a finesse-based striker. You know what I'm saying? He's such a flamboyant striker. He'll plant a shot in there, and he'll wait. And he looks so good the way he throws shots. His technique is great. But sometimes he's just looking for the perfect shot too much. And I think in the 4th and 5th round, once he's a bit tired, he's really going to try and make his shots count. And I think that's going to be his downfall in the last 2 rounds. But in the first 3, I've got Leon Edwards taking it all day. You know what I'm saying? I saw enough with Kevin Lee and RDA on the feet. Even though RDA was winning on the feet, I thought, wow, Kevin Lee's doing real well on the feet here. You know what I'm saying? I think Leon Edwards is a lot fucking bigger than Kevin Lee. Leon Edwards, his size is underrated at that weight class. If you saw him versus Gunnar Nelson, you'd think, what the fuck? Are these two in the same weight class? I know Gunnar Nelson's not the biggest of welterweights, but even still. You know what I'm saying? Gunnar Nelson, he doesn't look small against a lot of guys, but Leon Edwards made him look like a fucking dwarf. You know what I'm saying? An Icelandic dwarf in there. And I feel like Leon Edwards is going to get the win here. I think he's going to actually come out a bit more bullyish and come out very hard and fast in the first 3 rounds and try and secure those and then maybe coast to a decision. But I'm just happy that this fight got made. I really am happy that this fight got made. So happy, because that card was so shit with Juan Adams and Greg Hardy as the main event. It was an embarrassment to have that as the main event. You know what I'm saying? 2 unranked heavyweights, one coming off a loss, one coming off a win, 1 win streak, and you're like, okay, let's put them against each other for the main event. I was going to lose my shit, but luckily they had this in the pipeline, got it done. I love RDA sometimes. Like, he's not the most interesting guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not the most hilarious guy. He doesn't have the best personality for the sport. But one thing he does do, he fights. And he fights often. You know what I'm saying? Since Colby fought RDA, RDA's fought Usman. RDA's fought Kevin Lee. RDA has fought, or he will have fought Leon Edwards before Colby fights again. You know what I'm saying? He's just so active and I like that. And he saves cards. And he's a main event guy. And he's coming off a win, so he's kept his place as a main event. And this is a good fight. This is a really good fight, and I think Leon Edwards is going to take the win. I just think he's going to be too big, too bullyish, and too physically imposing in those first 3 rounds. This is a test for Leon Edwards, but hey, 7 win streak, I believe. Last loss was to Kamaru Usman, and he did quite well against Usman as well. He did quite well against Usman. For being a guy from the UK and being new into the scene when he was, because back then he was a completely different fighter. You know, you get taught a bit of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You learn that mistake in the ring. A lot of the UK guys, you know, we're strikers. We're boxers. We're kickboxers. You know what I'm saying? We don't know about all that wrestling stuff. What are you doing, diving for my legs? What's this? Oh, I'm on my back? Oh, you're elbowing my fucking face. But then you develop and you learn in the ring and you evolve. And I think that Leon Edwards is going to do a good job here. I don't see RDA shooting for takedowns. I actually see RDA trying to keep this standing. And I think that's a bad bet. That is a really bad bet. I also see RDA as an older guy. A lot older. He's taken some damage. You know what I'm saying? He's continuing to take damage. And there's only so long that chin can hold up. So we'll see. We'll see how he reacts to some of the shots from Edwards. Because Edwards can crack. Edwards can crack hard, and if RDA tries to come in and play the close the distance game and land shots on the inside, you know, Gunnar Nelson tried that. Gunnar Nelson tried to blitz forward and land shots on the inside. And then an elbow comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, hey, you're not having too much fun. But I do think that Edwards is going to get RDA's respect in the first 3 rounds. In rounds 4 and 5... we're going to see RDA start to put the pace on and maybe edge those rounds while Edwards is on the back foot a little bit. Because if there's a problem with Edwards, it is his pacing just a tad. You know what I'm saying? In the first 3 rounds against Cowboy, I think I had him winning all 3 rounds against Cowboy. Going into the 4th. And then as the 4th and 5th came through, you saw Cowboy, the veteran, continuing to come forward. And Edwards, he wants to be perfect with his shots. You know, he doesn't like missing and wasting energy, but he doesn't like it so much that sometimes he just doesn't throw. You know what I'm saying? He moves out of the way. He takes his knocks. He doesn't get hit by anything clean very often. And yeah, I like this matchup. This has saved that card. That with Alexander Hernandez on the card as well. He's obviously going to be on the main card. That card was looking so bad. I mean, you're talking Hardy versus Juan Adams as the main event. Co-main event, Alexei Olenek versus Walt Harris. I mean, that is not an ESPN on TV card, but now it is. Now, listen to just this main card. Listen to this fucking main card. Leon Edwards versus Rafael Dos Anjos main event. Okay? Most likely, although people are going to hate, Greg Hardy versus Juan Adams co-main event. I'm okay with it. It's a heavyweight fight. It's big. Greg Hardy's got a lot of traction. He's going to bring a lot of names. He is on ESPN, so the NFL fans are probably going to be like, I recognise that guy. Isn't that the guy that beat his... Oh, he's beating up different genders now. And then they're going to tune in for the co-main event. Then also on the main card, you've got Alexei Olenek, Walt Harris, Raquel Pennington versus Irene Aldana, because, you know, got to do something nice for the ladies. Alexander Hernandez is going to be on the main card. James Vick versus Dan Hooker has also been added to the event recently. That's going to be on the main card. Great stuff. Great stuff, UFC. You fucking saved yourself here. You have saved yourself here, man. Because it was looking very bad. Very bad. I wonder what happened to Darren Till. I wonder. Because they were saying that Dana White was sort of... The rumours were that Darren Till was going to be fighting Leon Edwards. I wonder what happened there. My only assumption is that it is in 5 weeks, and Darren Till probably was okay to fight, but just not in 5 weeks to try and make weight. That's the only thing I can consider here. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking Darren Till, he's good to fight, but just not in 5 weeks. That just doesn't seem to be a possibility for him. He can't take fights on short notice. You know what I'm saying? You know, you saw against Robbie Lawler. You know, we'll do it at 175. It's a problem, but I think he's just one of those guys. You know, he needs a training camp. That's just the way it is, and that's just the way it's going to be. But I don't mind. And now we get to see another card with Darren Till on it, rather than blowing our load all over this one. You know what I'm saying? We get to spread our stars, semi-stars, a little bit across the entire year. Maybe we'll see Darren Till on the next fight night, which hasn't been announced yet, so I'm looking forward to that. When is the next fight night going to be after the July 20th? First week of August. That hasn't been announced. We'll see. We will see. Darren Till versus Mike Perry. That'd be good. I love UFC at the moment, man. I'm so hyped for this shit. I'm in such a good mood about the fight game. You know, just between Lobov Malignaggi, fucking Bellator 222 this weekend, 239 coming up soon. You know what I'm saying? Next weekend's fight card's pretty shit, but it's still a fight card. I don't mind. And now these news of new fights coming out, this is a great sport, man. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.